This is the Avatr 11 we tested last week. It's arguably one of the smartest EV in China, but actually all the intelligent parts were made by Huawei, and the non-Huawei part of this car still has room to improve, especially the build quality and side propulsion. If only they could refine the interior and flatten the body. Well, who would have thought Avatr has done just that? This is Avatr 12. It's very similar to Mercedes-Benz AMG GT53 in terms of shape, size, and power. But in China, it only costs as much as a Merc C-Class. Since the intelligence of it is exactly the same as the 11, let's skip the Huawei part and explore what other exciting things can a smart EV bring to the table. I'm Harris, you're watching Mad EV. As a four-door coupe, Avatr 12 clearly has smoother curves than its coupe SUV cousin. On top of that, a 5-meter wide, 2-meter long body giving it a grand presence. Plus, a 1.46-meter low height, 21-inch big rims, and a classic fastback design all added to its sporty appearance. Take a look at the size and wheels of AMG GT53, and you will understand why the side of these two have such similar looks. But the sleek design is disrupted by the rather bulky rear. One of the reasons is that the back of one we're filming is slightly raised, but it might be changed in the production one. Another reason is that it has no rear window, just like the Polestar 4, but without the sharp edges, all I can think of is the Honda Accord Cross Tour. It's just a bit chubby. On this design, I'd like to say something. Limited by aerodynamics and mechanics, most electric cars has poor backward visibility, and I personally feel the pain as an ET5 owner. So, do you think a digital rearview mirror can really replace the physical window? Let me know in the comments. Although the rear design is not that attractive to me, the finishes are very refined for sure. All sensors are well hidden, especially the 3 LiDARs that are not sabotaging the whole visual aesthetic. And just look at these digital side mirrors. They do look like tiny wings from a spaceship. And the active spoiler is at the right spot, perfectly making up for the emptiness of the back. Before today, I thought exterior was the biggest highlight of Avatr 12, but to my surprise, what's even more astonishing is the interior. Stepping into the car, you will notice that the 12 has a completely different design language from the 11. Same as the Lincoln Nautilus, it also has a wide screen that spans the entire width of the cockpit. But the Avatr has digital side mirrors, so the display on both ends are actually camera feeds. Comparing to the current trend of screen adding and expanding, I like this approach better. And another thing worth mentioning is the position of the dashboard. In most cars, you're looking at the dashboard through the steering wheel, but in this 12, you're looking right above it, which is similar to the Peugeot 508. Plus, they made the steering wheel smaller and sort of square for better visibility. Indeed, it looks really cool and can even make up for the loss of an head-up display, but in an EV, it can also bring some problems. For EVs built on native platforms, especially those with a lower front end height, a good sitting position is hard to achieve because the battery is eating into the space, thus making the seat higher, and this kind of dashboard design means the steering wheel and center display has to be lower. Paired with a low belt line, you will feel like you are sitting a bit too high. But the good news is that the steering wheel is really small, so I can still get a pretty decent leg room, at least better than my ET5. Lastly, let's look at some interesting designs. Like the Tesla Model X, it also has a panoramic windshield. But what bugs me is that they stuck the sun visor onto it, which completely ruins the purpose of this huge windshield. And for a minimal look, they turn the door pocket into a hidden storage, covered by a lid that disguises as a door handle, and move the window control to the center console. What's more, the wireless charger that can automatically lower and the one-button comfort mode on driver's seat are also quite unique for an EV. Many Chinese EV tend to follow a similar trend where if they share the same platform, no matter how the exterior changes, the interior will be pretty much the same. But apparently, Avatr did the exact opposite. The coupe design of this Avatr 12 might lead you to believe that even though it's a huge car, the interior will not be very spacious, But actually, practicality is another thing that shocked me. First off, the back. The legroom and headroom look tiny, but thanks to a big floor and well-angled backrest, I can sit quite comfortably. One minor issue is that the cushion is a bit too low, which doesn't provide enough support for my thigh. But if improving this means sacrificing headroom, I'd rather keep it this way. Honestly, here in China, it's nearly impossible to find electric sedans that allow me to sit comfortably in the back. Even in the Neo ET7, the exemplar of Chinese executive electric sedan, I'm still unsatisfied with its backrest and headroom. Then the boot. No rear window does bring some challenge to designers, but it also brings some benefits, like the massive opening. Even though it's a standard 3-box car, the opening is as big as that of the ET5 Touring. Together with a bigger boot and the 60/40 split seats, the storage capacity of this 12 is a lot higher than you thought. But being a shooting brake-like car, it would be better if it had more useful gadgets in the boot, just like the ET5 Touring does. Lastly, the frunk. The mighty Tesla and their large frunks make people take it for granted and think that without an engine, EV should all have a big frunk. But in reality, only a few actually have it. For most EVs, if you open the bonnet, you will only find a small bin or even just a black cover. So it's quite surprised to see the Avatr 12 has a huge frunk that even as big as that of the Model Y. We all know that intelligence is the internal subject of EV, but every brand still needs a clear label that can represent itself. For NIO, it's service, Li Auto, family, XPeng, technology, and Tesla is Elon Musk. As for Avatr, its label has always been design. On this 12, you can see a lot of executions that clearly gave away to the design. While some may have drawbacks, like the absurd sun visors, oddly placed window controls, and hard-to-clean door panels, it's these very designs that give the car its unique character, making it stand out even when we take out the intelligent part. We have been saying that electrification will make cars dull and boring, but this kind of design philosophy will probably make you have something to look forward to in the era of homogenized electric vehicles.
Near the end of his time, told me something I will never forget.